got in trouble. One of the comments.
What was the comment?
Very aggressive. Put those damn phones away.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and I'm about to give a crotch shot.
It's okay.
I'm good.
You look good in your moo-moo, baby.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. I sat down in front of the camera. I was like, I look a little puffy. I'm not pregnant.
You look beautiful as always. Don't you dare say anything about being pregnant. Welcome to
We're healthy and I'm pregnant. No, I'm kidding.
God, dude, are you kidding me? Again, pick cherries if you want to make sure that everybody thinks that Renee's pregnant. You could pick that cherry right there and then send it to people, and people go like, "Oh my God, did Renee say she's pregnant?"
That's great.
Out of context, yes, out of context. Well, hello.
Hello. Good morning.
I'm very excited.
Are you?
Well, yeah, we're going to Florida tomorrow, and
I am too.
We're gonna fish, and I love the hot weather, and here in Texas, it was like, yay, a week of hot weather, and then all of a sudden, boom.
It got cold this week for our spring break here.
It got cold for spring break. So I'm ready to go to Florida. I'm very excited.
Yes.
You're
doing Naples and then West Palm Beach back to back.
Yep. So we'll be in Florida for 2 weeks. And for this one, the kids are coming. Because it is spring break, and we plan on doing the beach thing and
get some family time in.
Swimming pool thing and fishing and all the good stuff. And then next week, we're going to finish up. We're filming a show for A&E called Addiction Unplugged.
Yep.
And we filmed a bunch of stuff at Helicopters for Heroes. And then we're going to follow up in Palm Beach. So Renee is going to come out there for one day to spend time with her.
Thank God, Lori just caught that my tickets are booked for the wrong day. I'm going to be both in Marco Island and West Palm Beach, according to my plane tickets this weekend.
Man.
So after this, I have to get on the phone and fix my ticket. I haven't fixed my ticket yet.
Shoot.
I thought I did it through the app, but I don't think it worked.
Well, I fixed mine. And I mean, sometimes, like, there's so much going on. You know, thank God for Lori. Lori's the one that caught it.
That caught the mistake,
you know,
yeah.
And she was like, hey, are you going to Palm Beach or Naples? Because it says you're going to both. I'm like, oh, shit. So luckily, and I've noticed, like, when I deal with customer service, you know, if I admit my mistake,
they're usually kind.
They're very nice. I called her up. I said, man, I screwed up. I made a mistake. I was not paying attention. Can you help me? And usually when you're nice, people want to help you.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm sure they look at your travel log and all the flights that you book and understand how sometimes that mistake can happen.
I don't know how much I have to travel and how much I have to spend to get fucking concierge key. What do you? I want to meet these people. I think
you write a Google review, Steve.
I mean, after this, it's private. So are there any concierge keys? Like, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I screwed up, but we got it fixed. Then you have to fix yours.
Yeah, I got to fix mine.
I'm very excited to be going to Naples.
Yeah.
And I mean,
we haven't traveled together as a family in a while.
It's been a little while.
At least it feels like it. I can't remember. For us, it feels like it's been a while.
I'm trying to think the last time that we traveled, but New Year's.
That's right. That's right, when Delilah fell and bled all over your shirt on the way to the show.
Yeah,
That's right.
It was New Year's in Miami, Dania Point is the last time. So here we are 3 months later. And it's just been tough too because, you know, we really try to be selective about where Garrett travels and what we do because he only gets a certain amount of excused absences.
That are not with a doctor's note.
But man, this last month he missed so much school because of him not feeling well.
Yeah.
You know,
I think this last time the doctor just wrote him a note that was like, out all week unless he feels better.
Yeah. Because it was one of those like, oh my gosh, poor kid. Dude.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about going to Naples. Last weekend, Friday, Saturday, I was in Columbus, Ohio, and then it was a
Is Columbus? I couldn't remember because I couldn't remember if I've done Columbus with you. Is that the one where they have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No.
That's Cincinnati.
No. Wrong again. Cleveland.
Okay.
All, and I don't want to say all because then Ohio fans are going to get upset. They have Ohio State.
I don't know football.
Columbus, Ohio is where, well, it's not football. It's a university.
Oh.
It's not about football. It is. They have Ohio State is in Columbus, which is, if I'm correct, I think it's one of the biggest schools population-wise in the country. And that puts them in
wow,
over 100,000 students or something crazy.
So the campus is massive.
It's huge. So Went there.
Does it feel like a college town when you're there?
Columbus is a very nice small city.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like a I don't know, like in between Corpus and San Antonio, kind of.
Okay.
You know, not as small as Corpus, but not as big as San Antonio, but very very nice. You know, it's very clean. It's very nice. The where I perform is a nice little area.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy, and I hope he doesn't mind that I'm talking about him, but you know, Dave J has decided to, you know, start booking his own stuff and getting off the road a little bit because, you know, he is a father of 4 kids and you know, not only is he working a full-time job, then he was leaving on the weekends with me, and I think he needed a break. So he took a little break, not from comedy, from the road.
Yeah.
So this week we were paired up, and it was just, this world is crazy.
Oh, you were paired up with like a random comedian, you mean?
Not a random. So 2 weeks ago, I get a phone call, and I'm like, man, haven't heard from this guy in a while. I've known him for 20 years, maybe more.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I haven't heard from, I call him Big Tim, right? His name is Tim Lulis. Very, very nice guy, very funny. He calls me up like 3 weeks ago. And he said, Steve, you know, he goes, last time we worked together several years ago, you sat me down and you were very concerned about my weight. He goes, you even like took me and we went walking and you know, he goes, you really were trying to give me some pointers as to, you know, get back into shape because, I mean, when I say he's a big boy,
Yeah.
he's a big boy.
Yeah.
I mean, big boy, right? I mean, right now he's 375. He's my height.
Yeah.
And anyway, he calls me and he says, I just want to let you know. This was like a month ago. He says, I just want to let you know that you know, you have always been in my head when it comes to my weight. And I always think about that you sat me aside, told me you were concerned, right? He goes, but I'm doing something.
That's a hard conversation to have with someone too, especially if you're not like good close friends that regularly see each other. That's a hard conversation. That's like a hard and awkward conversation to have
After all this time, right? But I've also
no, but even to initially sit him down and tell him that.
No, but I have made a decision in my life that I do want to speak up, right? And you know, I have lost so many friends, especially in the comedy world, to drug addiction, to alcoholism, to suicide, to weight.
Yeah.
Right. So
life on the road is just a hard lifestyle. Comedian,
really
musician, it's a hard lifestyle.
I'm out of shape. I'm not in great shape, but I do the best I can. I try, right? But I made a decision in my life that, hey, when I see somebody that I'm concerned about, I should express that feeling.
Yeah.
And offer any type of help I can. Be encouraging, try to help, right? But it was really cool that all these years later, Lulis calls me and says, hey man, I want you to know I'm doing something.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm losing weight. I'm working hard. I'm dieting. He goes, I finally lost enough weight to get the sleeve. So he got the stomach sleeve.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm really proud of myself. He goes, I've lost 68 pounds since November. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
Dude, like, good for you.
Yeah.
Right. So we had that conversation. I said, you know what, man? I go, I miss you. I go, please keep me updated on your journey.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Dave calls me and says, hey, can you find somebody to fill in for me? I go, no problem. I call the club. I don't call Tim. I call the club and I say, hey, you know, I don't have an opening act. Can you assign me one? It's Tim.
That's awesome.
It was Tim.
That's awesome.
And then Tim,
that's the universe going ding.
Yeah, and Tim hits me up and goes, dude,
yeah,
we're working together this week. I go, fuck yeah, man, I'd love to see you. So it was
Where
great.
does he live?
He lives in Virginia.
Okay.
He lives in Virginia, and his home club is the Virginia Beach Funny Bone, is where I met him 20 years ago. And we just had a wonderful weekend together, and I'm really proud of the guy, and you can tell mentally where his head is.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's not uncomfortable talking about his weight. He's not uncomfortable talking about the things that led him down that path, right? The struggles. And you could just tell that mentally he's in a place where he's admitting, I have a problem and I need to fix it. right?
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part is coming to a conclusion that, oh man, I have to admit.
Oh, I don't know if that's
Yeah.
the hardest part. The consistency is the hard part.
But I'm really proud of him, and we ended up hanging out all weekend. We took a great picture with the staff. We took a picture of me and him together, and it was just great to see him. And I didn't realize, number one, he's my age, and he's been doing stand up as long as I have.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those moments where it's like, here it came, coincidentally, full circle.
Yeah.
Right, and it was just a great weekend to hang out with him. We went to lunch on Saturday. Well, Saturday was tough because we added a show, and I had a 4:00 show, a 7:30 show,
Yeah.
and a 10:00 show.
I know. I called you. It was like 2 or 3.
Here.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, I'm getting ready for the first show. I was like, what? Like, it's daylight.
First show?
Yeah.
Right, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm on stage because it's an hour difference. I'm on stage at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
sitting in a green room. But, I mean, wonderful shows. A lot of great people came out. We had
How long had it been since you had done that? Because it was a comedy club.
I had done just a Wednesday. It was like a connector to something.
Routed with something else.
Routed with something else. And I had done it like on a Wednesday. We ended up selling out 1 or 2 shows.
Yeah.
Decided to come back for the weekend. And we ended up not only selling out 4 shows, we ended up adding that 4:00 show. But it was great. It was, I really love, I'd rather pack all the shows I can in on a Friday, Saturday, and be home Thursday night.
For sure.
Right? And be home Sunday morning. So,
But also talking about like the long game, the stamina to do 3 shows back to back to back. And even the staff to like clear those people out, get another show in. Like, it's exhausting.
it's hard. It's not easy. But for me, like, hey, I'm there to work. I'd rather be working than sitting in a hotel. Let's get it out. Let's knock it out. Let's have great shows. I want to go home.
Yeah.
And then, the time changed. But I also felt amazing walking on stage in Columbus because I was finally 100%. And last weekend, it was really hard for me to find the energy to smile and to look happy and not sick because I was really, really sick in Des Moines. Des Moines, I walked on stage and I was miserable. But I had to put my smile. And I don't want to sound horrible, but it's hard. Like, it is hard to be sick. I had a 101 fever. I was congested. My head was screwed up. And it's hard to find the energy to go on stage.
And power through.
Well, and also pretend you're not sick. Right?
Yeah.
Pretend that nothing's wrong. Pretend, which takes me back to a very good friend of mine, Angelo, who has since passed of cancer. I don't even know if I ever told this story. Angelo's one of these guys.
New York comic.
Yeah. One of these guys I met years ago. And to me, he was like the older guy. Angelo Lozado was his name. He since passed from cancer. But he was always the guy that I would call when I went to New York City so that I could hang out. I loved hanging out with him.
Such good energy, super
energy.
positive. Yeah.
Did a few things on The Daily Show. Used to warm up the crowd for The Daily Show. Super positive guy. I'm doing Brooklyn. And God, Rick, you're gonna think this is funny. I'm doing Brooklyn. I call Angelo. I said, hey, I want you to work with me. He's like, of course.
Yeah.
I get there. He's walking towards me. And I'm like, damn, dude, you lost a lot of weight. You got fucking cancer? And he goes, I do. And I was like, what? He goes, Steve, I have stomach cancer. And I was like, oh my God. And then he started busted out laughing because he's like, the look on your face. He's like, you could have picked AIDS. You could have picked crack. You could have picked anything.
So many other things.
He goes, you picked cancer. He goes, and the fucking look on your face to be able to look at you and go, I do have cancer. I'm like, oh, fuck, right? But we ended up having this really beautiful laugh backstage.
Yeah.
And he at that time had already been told that he was not going to make it.
Yeah. I remember you calling me.
Oh, I was heartbroken. But the courage that he had to come out, and what even tripped me out even more, he went on stage, did his set, performed,
Yeah.
never once mentioned that he had cancer.
Oh, the stories. I'm tearing up because he's just such a sweet man. The story's gonna make me cry.
But never once let the audience know that he had cancer and that he was dying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He was such a freaking class act.
Yeah.
Walked on that stage, smiled, did his set the way he always does, with positive energy and positive attitude. And then even at the end, I would think that he would go, hey, you know, I have cancer or whatever. But it's total class act. Not only that, he goes, I know you want to go to the city. I want to take you. He goes, I'll hang out for a few minutes because I don't feel well.
Yeah.
And then I'll go. Ended up taking me into the city, hanging out at the comedy clubs. And I'm just like, God, dude, this guy, within 2 months, he passed.
Yeah.
Within 2 months. And I just like, you know, what courage to go on stage.
Yeah.
You're 2 months away from dying. So you have to be bad.
Yeah.
And never made me feel bad. Total good energy. Did his set. And still felt obligated because I had asked him to take me to the city.
Yeah.
And still took me to the city to hang out. I'm just like, wow, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's gotta be hard.
But you know what it's like to be on that stage. So that's his happy place. And he probably just felt like as long as he could still get up there and get on stage, he wanted to be able to do that. That made him happy.
Well, that's the thing about Des Moines. The first 5 minutes, I'm feeling sick. After that, in it.
Yeah.
And I'm not thinking about being
What's
sick.
the adrenaline, right? The adrenaline kicks in. And
then it's at the end when I'm wrapping my setup that I'm like, I crash again. I'm like, oh, man. Like, I don't feel well, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think of Angelo a lot. And, you know, when I hear these comedians, and most of them are friends of mine and I know them, when I hear them bitch, it's like, come on, dude.
yeah.
You know, we tell jokes for a living. You get your ass out there and you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And you do it well because the hardworking people of the world, you are their entertainment. You better fucking entertain.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's such a roller coaster. You've talked about that too. In the same vein, you've said like, oh, I understand why someone might have responded that way. Like you've been traveling all day, you're tired, whatever. You just want a minute to yourself. Like like with anything, there are ups and downs, and sometimes you catch people on a good day and sometimes you catch them on a bad day. We're human.
Well, and everybody's reality is different and everybody's perspective is different. And,
yeah.
you know, everybody sees things the way they want to see them. You know, Kenny Rogers, I heard him do an interview. I don't know where he got it.
You love Kenny Rogers. What is it about Kenny Rogers?
He's the gambler, bro. But I heard him do
the gambler.
I heard him do an interview where he goes, there's everybody is three people.
Yes.
Remember I told you that?
Yeah, I've heard.
Everybody is three people. It's who you think you are.
Yep.
Who other people think you are.
Like see you as.
And who you really are. Isn't that crazy?
Three different perceptions.
Three different perceptions.
Yeah.
Who you really are, who you think you are, and who other people think you are.
Yeah. That's
crazy. And I think that's a very true thing to say. Wouldn't you?
Sure. But remember when we had Sonny as a guest, and he said you don't have to be the person you are right now in this moment. I just thought that was really cool too.
Right. You can.
So that changes too.
I mean, that's what I do with Garrett nightly, right?
Yeah.
I go through this is what tomorrow's going to look like. This is what your week is going to look like.
Yeah.
And this is what your life is going to look like.
Right.
Right. And I'm constantly going through his day. You're going to wake up. You're going to have a great morning. You're going to have a positive attitude. School's going to be amazing. It's going to go by fast. You're going to defend and make sure that no weaker kids get picked on. I mean, I go through his day and then I go, and it's going to be a great week. This is what's happening. I'm going to go on the road. I go through the week and then I go through his life. You're going to be a good man, a strong man, a hardworking man, a man that cares about others. And I go through all of that. And that's almost every single night with Garrett.
Yeah.
Putting those positive energies, putting those positive vibes, making him think about what his day is going to be.
Right.
Choosing
Well, and even making him feel or understand that he has the power to control that.
That's the one thing that anytime they ask me to speak to kids is me saying, it is your body, it is your mind, and you are in charge of it.
Yeah.
And you can choose to wake up and have a bad day, or you can choose to wake up and have a good day. Nobody can control the way you feel. Nobody can control what you do and how you do it, because it is your body and your mind, and you can do and choose to be anything.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start blaming, well, I've got, I don't have any money, or we're poor, or I only have a mom, I don't have a dad, or I only have a dad, I don't have a mom. Well, don't blame that. You choose to have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Right. So tell us about our Easter plans, because they're coming around the corner.
About our Easter plans, we're hosting Easter at the house.
I know,
I haven't
but I have
decorated the
no
podcast
idea.
studio, but I've got stuff piled up in the corner off camera that you can't see that I haven't had a chance to put out.
Last year, I got in trouble. Do you remember why I got in trouble?
Because it was going on, and we still had a piñata, and we still had other activities to do, and people were like ready to start leaving, but there was still stuff happening. So this year we've decided that
Everybody has three perceptions of things. The way Renee perceives it, the way I perceive it, and what actually happened.
And how you see it.
Yeah.
No, this year we will have kind of a running schedule of events to help keep us on track.
She was like, why aren't we doing the piñata? We need to do the piñata right now.
Actually, you just reminded me we need to get a
And
piñata.
I'm like, we're playing kickball. Why are you playing kickball? It's piñata time. And I'm like, oh,
I talked
God.
exactly like
I'm
that
like,
too.
yes, that's
like
how
breathing fire down your neck on Easter Sunday. That's exactly
it was worse
what I
than
did.
that. It was worse than that. I'm being nice so that we don't fight, and then now you're starting shit. You are starting shit. I'm just telling you.
Starting shit. There's a way you perceive it, the way I perceive it, and how it really goes down.
No, I just want a schedule. I want you to give me. I would like things
You
to
want
happen.
a schedule? You never like schedules, but yes,
No, I want a
think
schedule
in this
because
situation it'll be helpful.
I personally do not want a schedule. I like to go willy-nilly, feel it out, have a good time, just go with the flow, if you will.
Well, but the bummer is that people have school the next day. Like, we don't have off Easter Monday. I think some schools do because they like tie it into their spring break or whatever, but we do not have off Easter Monday. So we get in, we have fun, everybody have a good time, and then everybody goes so they can get ready for Monday.
So give me a schedule so that I can execute your schedule so that I can have a good time on Easter. Because I did not have a good time on Easter getting in trouble by my wife.
Oh, that's not true.
It is
was
true.
Not that bad. It was
Renee,
not that bad.
Pouting,
Hush.
stomping. I'll go get the piñata myself. And she was dragging it out. Okay.
That's not true.
Yes, it is, dude. Yes, it is. See or no? Yes.
Your memory, that's not true.
That's exactly what happened. So I want a schedule of events
Okay.
for Easter so that I can follow your schedule, so
Fair
that
enough.
you can be happy, so that I cannot get in trouble.
Fair enough.
Is that fair enough?
That's fair enough.
What are
I
you
can
doing?
do that.
We just talked
I
about
was
this.
just we had a message from our nieces because it's spring break, so we've got family in town visiting, and they sent us a message. But also just because I was looking where you're coming up after West Palm Beach. You're in Omaha, and then it's Easter. I was checking to see how soon Easter really is.
Easter's right around the corner.
It's right around the corner. I didn't realize. I
and-
should have gotten the decorations up. I was like, it's too early to put up Easter decorations.
I've been telling you.
I know. Okay.
It's been driving me crazy. So every 2 weeks, I clean the garage spotless. And then another holiday's coming. So then Renee gets all of the decorations, all the shit, and puts it all over my garage. And then it just sits there for days.
Because it's hard with Delilah to do it all in like one. It's a lot to do it all in one day, to pull it out of storage, to get it all put away where it's supposed to go. And we haven't lived in this house long enough that I'm like, oh, this goes there, this goes there. Like, I'm still buying stuff for this house. So I don't know where everything goes just yet. It takes a minute.
So now I have all this damn Easter shit in the garage that is in the way, freaking everywhere. And then I go to Renee and I'm like, I don't know about you, Rick, but I'm so afraid. I'm like, hey, so when do you think you might decorate for Easter? Like, and she's like,
believes that you are afraid.
I'm afraid of you.
No.
I'm afraid. So then I come up, I'm like, ma'am,
Easter
and then
decoration.
I like,
Shut
I
your
go like
mouth.
that, like, so she didn't hit me.
Shut
And then I'm
your
like,
mouth. That
I'm
is
like
not funny.
And I'm like, babe, do you think that maybe you could decorate and get this shit out of my garage? That's how I come. I'm like,
Well, it's not in the garage. Now it's piled up in the corner of the podcast
and people wonder
studio.
why I started doing jujitsu. It is to defend myself from Renee. The peaceful way.
That's not true.
So anyway, all this shit in my garage. And then what even drives me more crazy, I have this beautiful bar. I have a beautiful bar in the living room, kitchen area. And again, covered with tubs. And
There's nothing on it right now. I took the tub off and put it in the corner of the dining room. Everything's like tucked, hiding in corners until it can all go up.
So what activities do you have planned for Easter?
We'll do sack races. We'll have piñata. We'll do the egg hunt. We decided, Garrett brought it to my attention that I want to know, do people cut off their egg hunt at a certain age? Like, is there an age when it's like, you're too big, you're taking all the eggs from the little one? Is there a cutoff age?
I think we should do like a 6 and under egg hunt.
Well, no, Garrett's 7.
Yes, and then you do a 7 to like teenager, and then you do an adult.
Well, so last year we did the adult egg hunt with lottery tickets, but it seemed like the teenagers got in on that. They wanted to do that. So we were like, okay, so now we'll let the teenagers participate because we're gamblers. We'll let the teenagers participate in the lottery egg hunt. But I don't know if I should do, like, we can do a little area for the teeny tiny ones, like 3 and under.
Oh, you can do that. I think you should do 4 and under.
4 and under?
Yep. I think that's a good idea to kind of do, hey, do not pass this area.
It's at the same time as the egg hunt,
Yep.
so they feel like everybody go and the floodgates are open, but maybe we have like a little roped off area.
Okay,
for
so no,
just
can
that.
you text me that? Rope off an area. Rope off an area. She'll be out there with a rope. I told you to freaking rope off an area. So, okay, rope an area.
Yeah.
For the kids. What else do you have in mind?
Oh, we also have the wooden spoons with the egg where you have to.
Games and competitions.
Yes.
Sack races.
Last year, poor Vicky, one of my girlfriends, was dressed in her cute Sunday best, and we did a real egg toss with a raw egg.
Oh, no, we always do a real egg toss, yes.
Which people really love it until poor Vicky took an egg to the head, like all in her hair, and
She
it's
had egg on her
hot,
face.
and it's like
She had egg on her
baking.
face. She got it.
It was. I felt she was such a trooper. I had brought out all the baby wipes, and she wiped.
But that's what it's about.
She hung out for a bit. I think that maybe that needs to be the last game of the day. That
So
way, if
then
someone
people
gets
can go
egg in the
home.
face, they can go home and shower.
Keep it out of the hair. You've taught me that.
Stop.
What? What?
Yeah, you would ruin Easter Sunday.
What? And then what else? Piñata?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's it.
That's it? Are you
That's a
sure?
lot. Well, the food and the eating, right?
Okay, make me a list of what you want to do when.
And then if people want to stay and play kickball, then you can do.
So my stuff goes, if your stuff, the
Well,
stuff
no, we
you
got-
want to do, if
we gotta
at the
get
end
all
when
the
people
Easter
leave,
stuff.
at the end when people leave, then
No,
you
but
can
that
do.
way there's no like time limit on the game. You
I'm
play
just
till you
concerned,
play.
man. We're so close. I want to get the patio done.
I don't know if it's gonna happen now. We
Man,
found out about a
it's-
snafu yesterday
The
with the roof and the stucco and the.
well, they're here
timeline
now.
of
The stucco
things.
guys are here now.
But I thought we had to have a roof.
No, well, Gabe's figuring it out, but holy crap! I hope we get that done. I think for sure the casita is gonna be done.
Yeah.
I think for sure the casita is gonna be done, but the patio, man, I hope. And I've been forgetting to take pictures. We need to take pictures.
I haven't been taking pictures out there either.
So I'm hoping that the
Yeah.
framer, nice guy. I hope he said he would take pictures, and I'm hoping contractor Gabe will also take pictures.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm very excited about Easter. I hope Rick and Gigi decide to come join us for
Yeah.
Easter. Did y'all come last year, Rick?
We did not. I think we ended up getting sick right beforehand.
Oh,
I think
that's,
that's
right.
right.
A lot of people got
Yeah.
sick because Jake and his whole family got sick.
That's right.
That
Like the
weekend for
day
Easter.
before too. Yeah.
Yep. Well, we would love it if you guys came out.
Heck yeah. So am I allowed to hunt for eggs? Did we land on that I'm old enough?
You can do the adult the lottery
No,
ticket
we'll
hunt.
have Rick hide the eggs in the trees.
Where only he can reach?
Yeah, like a damn giraffe. How tall are you, Rick?
6'4".
Oh, 6'4". And isn't that
shorties.
But isn't that crazy to think like 6'6" in the NBA is considered average or short? Would you agree with that, Rick?
Oh yeah. When I played basketball, I was considered short.
He was short.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
6'4", he's considered short.
Well, when you see their arm spans, those guys just have like massively long arms.
It's unbelievable. But I am excited about Easter. I'm excited about spring break. Garrett loves to fish. And he's been, I want to fish. So we are taking him fishing on Thursday.
Yeah.
But it's bougie fishing because we're with Papa Rich and Gigi, and they have a beautiful boat. And then we do the whole spread and food and the whole thing. And then we go, and that's what I love about Florida. Deep sea fishing is like right there. Like you don't have to go. If you go deep sea fishing out of Corpus Christi or Port Aransas, in order to get deep sea, you've got to go for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours of just cruising.
You just reminded me as you said that I should probably get some kids' Dramamine to throw in the suitcase.
I remember that one time, poor Garrett. And it was our fault because he had fallen asleep on the ride out there. And then when he woke up, he was like, "Whoa."
Is that what it is? Does that like mess you up if you fall asleep on the...
Well, because you're not gradually adjusting as you drive.
Yeah.
As you're going out and you're watching the horizon and you're doing things, you're gradually adjusting to the somewhat of a
the
chop,
motion of the ocean.
Right. And then when you're asleep and you wake up and you're in the motion of the ocean, your body doesn't have time. In my opinion, I don't know if this is
accurate,
medically accurate, but that is my opinion.
Got
as
it.
to what happens. But
got it.
This comedy club, it's called Off the Hook. Captain Brian had it on Marco Island.
Yeah.
It is one of those kind of weird, interesting clubs. It's literally a fish restaurant.
But it's so good.
It's great for the food's great.
Yeah.
Food's great.
It's not your typical comedy club food.
Well, but if you can imagine a nice fish restaurant, seafood restaurant in a shopping center.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, isn't it there where we ate at the Italian restaurant that Pittsburgh Dan showed us? It was there, right around the corner.
Oh, was it in Naples? No, it was in, what Florida city was it in?
Tampa.
What's close to Jupiter?
Tampa.
It was in Tampa.
It was in Tampa.
It was
next to Side Splitters.
Yeah.
And I was all excited.
But I love Naples. I feel like it brings back so many memories of like early you and I, before we were married. I feel like that's the first trip that you and I like took as a vacation together, kind of.
Well, it really wasn't a vacation. We had to make it work.
You were working,
yes.
but that's what I mean. That's that's how we took our vacations.
If I was working, Renee could come and spend the whole check, and then I would go home and go, like I got to make more money. I got to go figure this out.
No, but that's like the first time we kind of went on a trip together, and you were like, I'd never been to Marco, and you were like, this place is so beautiful, you should come.
Well, and then Captain Brian. Comedy clubs have a condo.
Yeah.
And he had a really nice condo that was on the water. So it was one of those deals where I'm like, you gotta come. Like it is like a vacation.
Yeah.
And then Marco's beautiful.
And then I've just always gone, or the kids have always gone. I think you've maybe gone there once or twice without me since then.
I don't know if I've ever gone without you.
Yeah, you have. One time you met a fan that had this like massive home. Jeff Steele was there with you.
with me.
Yeah, and you were like, Renee, we came to this fan's house and their house is crazy. Like,
it looked like a hotel.
That's what you kept saying.
This house.
Their house is like a hotel.
Like that house still makes me feel poor. It is stupidly beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember, and I think I ran into them. I think they're from Nebraska or somewhere. And I had ran into them, and they're like, hey, remember us? And we partied, and we went to my dad's place. And I'm like, I fucking remember I remember your dad's place. Like, it was insane. But I also think that because I traveled so much and I saw so much, that it makes you believe you can do it. right?
What do you mean?
Well, when you think about like kids that don't make it out of the ghetto
Yeah.
or a bad situation, it's because the only thing they see around them is bad situations.
Right.
They
The
don't
example that
Right.
something else exists, the possibility that something else
right,
exists.
and
Yeah.
that other people live like this, and the belief. And I've always had that too, where I go, if they can do it, I can do it.
It's achievable.
Yep. If somebody else can do it, I can do it. Right. If that person can go
Yeah.
from nothing to here and talking to people and going to their homes or meeting people and them saying, yeah, man, I'm a self-made guy. I did everything on my own. I just worked hard.
For
Right.
me, it's interesting that you phrase it that way, because for me, it's like a thing of fear. If they're not afraid, I don't have to be afraid.
Or they might be afraid, but they overcome that fear.
Yeah.
Right. So I do want to get ahead of things. Renee and I really want to do a special Mother's Day podcast. So we have a
Yes.
few minutes left to talk about.
Okay, we've been talking about this. Rick, we're thinking we talked about doing a live podcast for Mother's Day last year. And maybe it's not live. Maybe it's
No, not live. I don't think we do it live.
okay.
I mean, but that would be up to Rick. But I think we do it like a few days before Mother's Day. 'Cause it's always on Sunday.
Because I don't want to but I also don't want to interfere with other people's Mother's Day plans.
I think that we should do a flyaway giveaway for people not in Texas.
A flyaway giveaway?
Yes, so that they can fly into town and then join us at our Mother's Day podcast.
Okay.
Like we would fly them in,
Yes.
we'd put them at the Mother's Day podcast. We would get a hotel for them.
Yes.
And they would get to come in and see it.
But
live.
we're thinking brunch and mimosas and Bloody Marys.
I'm thinking Los Fontanas, and we set out a
Buffet.
and then they will pay for a ticket, and the ticket gets them the brunch,
Yes.
unlimited mimosas, and then that money will go to a woman's charity.
Yes.
Which woman's charity?
Something
we have to
female
figure out.
related. Yeah. Or something with children, since it's Mother's Day.
I mean,
We'll figure it out.
I also like helping Jody and his wife out there in Bryan College Station for the
Yes. But I imagine a lot of the people who will be coming will be moms here in New Braunfels. So maybe Casa of New Braunfels.
something.
Yeah.
But be able to donate the money to a female cause, right?
Yes.
And I would never, ever, ever discount all the great women who have joined our military. However, most of our combat wounded vets that we help from Helicopter for Heroes are males.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to take this Mother's Day podcast, have a wonderful day celebrating moms, giving them a nice brunch. Maybe we do mariachis
Yes,
before we
I
go
love
up,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Unlimited mimosas. All the moms get to come out, and we focus the whole podcast on moms
I love it.
and what it means to be a mom.
Yeah.
What it means to be a stepmom, right?
Yes.
Maybe
you have both.
Maybe have my stepmom, my mom, your mom,
My
there,
mama, yeah.
asking them questions, not together, because I don't think my mom and my stepmom can sit at the same table together. Because you want to see a fight,
No,
shit'll go down.
No, at Thanksgiving or Christmas, they both went to Ross together. That
was a huge
They
step.
bonded over their love of discount stores.
Yes, I was very impressed that.
See what shopping can do?
Anyway, Rick, I want to get ahead of it. I think that the next not in studio show that we do should be a Mother's Day show.
Yes.
And I think it could be a afternoon,
Yeah.
kind of a 10 a.m. brunch, right? The moms come out, and we don't even
10:30.
need the dads or the husbands, just moms.
A room full of
Right.
ladies.
A room full of
female
ladies.
audience.
Yep. And have a great podcast about the hard questions.
Yeah.
What is
You
it?
know what? I know people say they don't like it when we have guests, but I wonder. I feel like they liked it when we played the game with my folks, with Daddy Raymond and my mom. So maybe they will be kinder and gentler to the guests if they're our moms. You think?
Maybe. I don't know. We got to come up with something cool.
Yeah.
But I want to ask the hard questions too. What is it to be a modern day mom in 2023?
Yeah.
It's things have changed, and the definition, of what is a good mom or a mom over the years has has morphed and changed, and
What that role looks like.
what that role looks like, and the struggles of being a mom. You know, being number one, being a woman.
Yeah.
And then also being a mom. You know, and trying to juggle yourself, trying to juggle the kids, trying to juggle your husband, trying to juggle a career, trying to juggle making sure that your kids do not fall behind in school.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much that a mom has to do. And I think that's exactly what I would like this podcast to be.
Yeah.
Right? Is a celebration of mothers, however, getting into the in-depth
Dissecting that.
motherhood.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to be a mom.
It's not that I didn't want to be a mom. That's like a huge statement. I just, you were like, we're having babies now or we're not. And I wasn't quite ready. And I don't know when I would have felt ready or if I ever would have felt ready. But I was surprised by how much I love and enjoy being a mom.
And you didn't want to be one.
I think I just didn't. It changes a woman's life so much. Like, you knew from the beginning that your role in us having children was to provide for them. Like, I just think a man's role is so...
Say it.
For most people, a
Say
man's
it.
role is so clearly defined. Say what? You know your sole focus is to work, make the money, and bring it home. And
That's
then...
not my sole focus.
Well, I shouldn't say it's your sole focus, but that is your main focus and your priority. And that's what you get to focus on. And luckily, it is something that you love. But as a mom, before you have children, you can't wrap your brain around all the things that you're going to have to worry about and be responsible for.
Look, all my point is that the role of a mother in the past 100 to 50 years
It's super complex.
I don't think it used to be super complex. I think it has become complex. I'm being honest.
When was this? A couple of days ago, had this discussion about a terrible article that some man wrote. Of course, it was written by a male, talking about like the roles and duties of a wife, and it was
In the
written.
50s.
It was written present day, but it was a present day article. Sounded like it was
From the
written
50s.
in the 50s.
No, it
Because
wasn't it was an article from Good Housewives or something.
Good
magazine.
Housekeeping?
One of those.
Was it really an
Yes,
old article?
it was an old article.
But it said ridiculous things like, when your husband comes home from work, make sure the children are clean and in their room so it's quiet. Make sure the washer dryer are not running when he walks in the door. God forbid the washer and dryer be
Rick,
rumbling when the husband walks
guy,
through the door.
Doesn't that sound fantastic?
Nope, not answering that one.
But I was like, man, be happy the wash is getting washed. Who gives a shit if the washer and dryer is on and rumbling? It was the most ridiculous
And all I'm
article
saying
ever.
is
and you were like, hey, Renee, read this.
Imagine if I came home and said, "Who cares if the bills are paid or not?" I mean,
that is
just
not
get
the
over it.
same. That is
How's
not
that
the
the same?
same.
Anyway, that's why I think it could be a fun podcast. And
That's why we should have a Mother's Day podcast.
Again, pick that cherry. Steve's a male chauvinist. Here's him saying he is. I tried to go the whole show without it, but
What is it? Do you have to answer? It is important.
no, I'll call him right back.
Okay.
But we love you guys. We are going to wrap it up. We love Pick Cherries as well. Please download the app. Old Salt Coffee this morning, delicious as always.
I know. I have mine right here. I'm drinking tea and coffee at the same time. 'cause I didn't finish my coffee.
Trevino10 gives you a discount code.
Yes.
And we got to get these beautiful coins out in people's hands.
Yeah.
So I really, really want to start focusing on that and
If
doing
you sign up for a subscription and you use the code Trevino10, we have these beautiful custom Steve Trevino challenge coins because he loves those coins so much.
And we'll send
we
them
would
your way.
love to send one to you.
And then, of course, Aztec Chevrolet. We're absolutely in love with those guys. They have become friends of us. And I'm telling you, if you want a vehicle, give those guys a shot. Not to mention, if you like Fahard, they also have a Ford dealership in Goliad. So give those guys a shot. Aztec Chevrolet. Rick, as always, we love you. I think this podcast was fun.
Yeah.
Positive. You look beautiful as always, my love.
Thank
I
you.
love you, love you, love you, love you till the day I die.
That tank top looks awesome on you.
Thank you, babe. I haven't worn this one in a while. It was in the very back, so I rotated it. I rotated in to the mix. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you.